ਜਗਮੋਹਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਭੱਟੀ ਐਡਵੋਕੇਟ YouTube ਚੈਨਲ ਅੱਜ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਾਈਸ ਚਾਂਸਲਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਨਿਯੁਕਤੀਆਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ, ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਅਭਿਵਿਅਕਤੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ, ਅਭਿਯੁਕਤੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਗੱਲ। ਤੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਵੀ ਲੈਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ, ਸਮਝ ਵੀ ਲੈਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਪੜ੍ਹਿਆ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਵਰਗ ਨਹੀਂ, ਪੜ੍ਹਾਉਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਵਰਗ ਨਹੀਂ, ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਖੜੇ ਹਾਂ, ਨਰਕ 'ਚ ਕਿ ਸਵਰਗ 'ਚ? ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਸ਼ ਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਲਿਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਇੰਟਰਫੀਰੈਂਸ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ। ਗਿਆਨ ਵੰਡਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਅਨਿਲ ਭਾਟੀਆ ਜੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਗੁਫ਼ਤਗੂ। ਸਰ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ।
नमस्कार पटी साहब, फरमाओ।
ਵਾਈਸ ਚਾਂਸਲਰਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਨਿਯੁਕਤੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਪਟਿਆਲਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਚੰਡੀਗੜ੍ਹ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੋਵਾਂ ਦੀ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਲਈਏ। ਅੱਗੇ ਹਿਮਾਚਲ ਜਾਣ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਨਹੀਂ। ਉੱਥੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਆਂ ਜਾਂ ਹਰਿਆਣਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਾਈਸ ਚਾਂਸਲਰਸ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਆ, ਇਹ ਪੈਟ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਆ। ਪੈਟ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਇਹ ਦੱਸੋ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਓਵਰਆਲ ਵਿਊ ਦਿਓ, ਬਰਡ ਆਈ ਵਿਊ।
देखो पटी साहब, the post of a vice chancellor, who as per hierarchy is next to the chancellor of the university, be it governor or be it vice president of India or be it president of India as proctor. But I have personally feel that due to incompetent and apathetic vice chancellors, a vice chancellor is subservient even to a deputy secretary rank of an IS officer who works as director higher education. And since the purse is with the government, so the vice chancellors, they dance to the tune of the bureaucrats. And before dancing to the tune of bureaucrats, they dance to the tune of their political godfathers. Despite the fact that UGC in its guidelines dated 18th of July 2018 has clearly stipulated that the post of vice chancellor is a selection post on an all India advertisement basis through a duly constituted selection committee. Only last week, the Vice President of India, who is the Chancellor of Punjab University, has appointed the first woman as the Vice Chancellor of Punjab University. As many as 148 candidates applied for the post. Some present Vice Chancellors, some former Vice Chancellors, and several professors of various universities. The last date for the post of Vice Chancellor was 24th of March. And on 29th of March, the Vice President of India appointed a woman as a Vice Chancellor. Now there is a shock among the teaching community that how all of a sudden, without interviewing even a single candidate, the Chancellor as the appointing authority adopted the policy of pick and choose. No doubt that the Chancellor appointed a 3-member committee headed by a former chairman of AICTE along with 2 other members who hailed from engineering field. And now the teachers of Punjab University feel that the present incumbent is not a vice chancellor who has been appointed, but she is a parachute vice chancellor. It means she has been imposed on the university. I fail to understand that what were the reasons for the chancellor of the university to appoint a lady when as many as 148 candidates who were eligible for the post and none of them was interviewed. So what were the extraneous considerations for the appointment of a woman as a vice chancellor? No doubt it is a very bold step that for the first time in the history of Punjab University, a woman has been appointed as the Vice Chancellor of a university. But the question is whether the selection is fair, whether the appointment has been made on merit, But you will be surprised to know there are three other professors of Punjab University who are senior to the present incumbent. Professor Sinha, Dr. R.K. Singla, and one more professor who are highly qualified, much more experienced, but they have been ignored for the reasons best known to the Chancellor alone. I have come to know that a former Member of Parliament of Chandigarh had already assured the present incumbent that come what may, you are going to be the Vice Chancellor of this university. Now this clearly shows that everything was stage managed and everything was pre-decided, and the so-called advertisement application from the eligible candidates, the so-called interview was nothing but a mere eyewash to hoodwink the entire teaching community. So this is not fair. This is not in the interest of the university. I personally feel as a teacher that a university is what its vice chancellor wants it to be. And sometimes I am surprised when people, particularly the teaching community of the university, say that the earlier vice chancellors were better than the present vice chancellor. And this kind of scenario goes on. During my 50 years of teaching experience, I have admired only 4 vice chancellors. One, Dr. K.N. Raj of Delhi University. Another, Dr. V.V. John of Jodhpur University. Still another, Lieutenant General K. Balaram, who was the brother-in-law of President Venkat Raman, and he was appointed as Vice Chancellor of Kurukshetra University, and Mr. A.L. Fletcher, the former IECS officer and the first Vice Chancellor of Haryana Agricultural University, Hisar. Now, those were the people who were upright and who always believed in the welfare of the students, teaching community and non-teaching alike. And these are the people who built up the university from the scratch. But the present day vice chancellors, whether they are appointed for 3 years or they are appointed for 4 years, they have only 2-point program. One is illegal gratification of money, and second is the sycophancy of the power that be. So that means that despite the fact that the university is an autonomous body, a vice chancellor has no say whatsoever in the day-to-day administration of the university. And all this is happening in all the universities of Haryana, Punjab, Himachal and Delhi due to undue bureaucratic and political interference. Now this is a very sorry state of affairs. Rather, this is a shoddy state of affairs which is going on in our country in the name of so-called higher education.
There is a question as and when a finger is raised toward the appointment of Vice Chancellor. Previously, it never used to be. What are the reasons and weighing circumstances? Do you feel the political interference, political affiliations or any other extraneous considerations, please?
Well, Patti Saab, political interference used to be right from day one, because our political masters, they think that we want to control everything, be it a college or a university or any department. But these semi-literate or quasi-literate or illiterate politicians, they never realized that what kind of students we are going to produce if we are appointing weaklings and pygmies as vice chancellors.
Another aspect of the matter, the DAV Management Committee and the DAV University Jalandhar, are they beating new steps, chasing something new or following something new or in the same line? What do you feel?
Patti Saab, in the 21st century, education has become the biggest business. And you have taken the name of DAV Management New Delhi, which to my mind is the biggest education mafia of the country. And you'll be surprised to know that DAV University, which is on Jalandhar Pathankot Road, there is a litigation currently going on in Punjab and Haryana High Court where DAV management confiscated rather grabbed 70 acres of forest land, and that kind of litigation is going on. Now you can very well imagine what kind of quality of education they are going to impart to the students and what kind of values they are going to impart to our young budding students.
I believe that whichsoever the appointments are, even the PhD degrees, they doesn't find any recognition abroad. This is the root cause or some other root cause?
No, as far as PhD degree is concerned, there is a total dilution of education, you see. A degree of PhD is just a piece of paper, and there is no guarantee that a PhD holder is going to be a good teacher or a good researcher, or he is going to do something miracle in the field of extension or higher education. So that is sheer ridiculous as well as ludicrous also.
Meaning thereby, PhD degrees previously used to be earned degrees. Now these are not. This is what you are suggesting?
Yes, of course. PhD degree in a country like India is not original. It is sheer plagiarism or cut and paste work. Gone are the days when I was a student, there was only one PhD in Punjab University in English department. That was Dr. Rajkumar, and he got his PhD from Cambridge University, and he was a well-known scholar in the field of English fiction.
Now everywhere you will find any post, even of a peon. Many PhD degree holders are applying. Is it correct?
Now that shows the poor standard of education which we are giving to our students. You see.
And one thing more, if this is the state of affair and our educational standards as it used to be in Nalanda University, those have vanished, or no lessons can be learned from those universities?
What is up? Gone are the days when education had some value, but now, you see, that is why our students are migrating to foreign universities. I have been visiting several foreign universities, and there, no doubt, they charge very heavily from the students, but they do impart high quality of higher education.
And probably this is the reason of high scale, large scale immigrations to abroad.
Of course, there is no doubt about it, because our students are totally frustrated. They are disgruntled, they are disgusted, and they are misguided lot that despite spending 4 years or 5 years or 10 years in a university, and they are not eligible even for the post of a clerk or a peon. So the teachers should ponder over this issue deeply, that what is wrong with the system of our higher education.
There was a skit of Jaspal Patti that a teacher and a guide is guiding his student for PhD, and he used to get him work for his household and many other multifarious activities in the family. And ultimately, one day he states to the gentleman, "You get married with my sister-in-law and you will be awarded degree."
Of course, there is a large-scale exploitation in every field, and education is no exception. And not to talk of teachers or PhD holders, you see, you'll be shocked to know that majority of the college principals, they cannot write even one-page draft, and I call them as unprincipled principals. And I'm reminded of a famous rhyme of Benjamin Jowett, who once said that I am the master of this college. What I do not know is not knowledge. So this is the condition of our colleges and our universities.
There are many universities in Himachal, about 17, if I am not mistaken. A few days back, news item appeared. The fake PhD degrees delivered, and what is the action? And similar situation might be prevailing amongst throughout the entire states of the country.
Of course, this kind of grim scenario prevails throughout the country. Actually, what is up here, the thrust is not imparting knowledge. The thrust is more on acquiring a degree by hook or by crook. So our degrees have no value, and no employable employer will employ a person simply on the basis of his degree.
PhD degrees, so far as we have learned from the social media and other newspapers and print media, that these are a saleable commodity for few lakhs, and there are several employees who are obtaining, I will not say earning, obtaining PhD degree while performing their simultaneous duties. May it be any field. Do you feel that they would be imparting justice to their job and to the PhD?
Not at all. The degree of PhD is not as saleable, but it is also purchasable also. Now you'll be shocked to know, Bhatti Sahab, that there is one gentleman who has got extension as Vice Chancellor of MDU Rohtak. He was a DPRO in Haryana government, and he attended only 1 month seminar in the communication department of Kurukshetra University, and he claims that he has done PhD in mass communication. But because of his clout and nexus, the gentleman has been given extension for the reasons best known to the Chancellor, that is Governor of Haryana.
That means the chancellors themselves doesn't know, who are not PhD degree holders and have not earned PhD degree, what is the fate and how the vice chancellor's appointments are to come into existence, and what would be the fatal consequences to the future of India, that is the students.
No, that is for the politicians to think. When the chancellors are politically appointed, so why not the vice chancellor be politically appointed? As simple as that. So that kind of rut or that kind of rotten system continues to exist in our country to the detriment of the students, teachers and non-teaching staff.
The quality of working of any of the PhD degree holder, prefix name D capital or small, doctor, and their orders and their you see working can be assessed.
Sometimes I say that the degree of PhD stands for Pagal Ho Gaya Dimag or for teacher Dimag. So without applying their mind, they just get a piece of paper and they enjoy that kind of suffix or prefix as doctor. So
It is
no value whatsoever.
It is unfortunate that this scenario is going on, and the views expressed by Dr. Anil Patia ji are definitely valuable for the society, expression of his personal experiences shared with us. And
But one thing more which I would like to add, that there are no statutory substitutes for the will to insist on the right standards. Once a man has been appointed as a vice chancellor, the onus lies on him or on her to improve the standard of the university and quality of education in the interest of the students.
if they are failing on their duty, there should be any accountability of chancellor
They
and
should be
vice chancellor
dismissed straightway. They should be dismissed
And-
straightway if they can't deliver the goods.
and chancellor too.
Yeah, of course, of course. But our democracy is like that, by the fools, for the fools, and of the fools.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
very
so much for
Thank you,
giving
Bhatti
us your valuable
Thanks a
views,
lot.
having concern for your personal and professional experiences which are
Hurts me.
contained in
It
this.
pains me a lot as a teacher.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. 11 DOP. 15